Good morning, everyone. My name is Lori Lytle. I'll be hosting your Training Thursday. And what we're going to do today is provide you good tips to be able to get through creating these reports faster. So what we're going to do is we get quite a few questions coming through our support ticketing system about how can you add or copy an analysis. So we'll go ahead. I'll show you how to be able to do that. So this way it will speed up the time period for those open house flyers. You don't have to upload that contact information over and over. So that's one tip we're going to show. Next is Edge Live. I'm going to go ahead and show Edge Live, and I'm curious for everyone out there, can you raise your hand? Let me know if you used Edge Live. So if you've used Edge Live, I want to see you raise your hand. Give me an idea who has done that. So if you could take a moment and do that. So that'll be good. I have one person that has used Edge Live. Okay, John. The rest haven't, so that's going to be a treat. That's one of my favorite tools to be able to use. Also, John, if you want, put it in the chat box and be able to let us know how you use that, or in the question box, and see your results. And then after we do Edge Live, we're going to work on the reinvestment strategy screen. You'd be able to work with the reinvestment and customize this area for your borrower, be able to apply different principal as well as using investment accounts and savings accounts. So I'll show you how to be able to do that, apply principal as well as doing lump sum payments and reinvest in MI. And then lastly, if we have time, we're going to go ahead and cover product templates. We have updated our screens. We do have reserves. So I want to review the product template, show you how you can save it from a report that you've already created, and then you could go ahead and modify it within, once we go through this process, once you have these created. I mean, it's just so quick. You only have to, enter the rate, couple items, and you're done. So we're going to be able to help you speed across this and get going through Edge, make powerful reports. So for those who are new for GoToMeeting, if you have, there's two areas we're going to be working with. If I have a link to provide you, I'll place it in the chat box area. And if you have any questions at all, go ahead and open up your question box and place the questions in there, and I'll answer them as we go. And I do have a question. Betsy is asking if we could go over open house flyers for agents, especially what is best practice to put in closing costs. We won't go directly to creating an open house flyer, but I think with what we're showing today, Betsy, you'll be able to really get the information about the fees as well as speeding up going through that open house flyer a lot quicker. So I'm pretty sure that will help you out there. So first of all, if you see my screen, we're on the home screen. So in the upper section, we have our client-facing reports. That's the total cost analysis and the rent versus own. In the lower half, we have our open house flyers as well as the seller buy-down. Those are partner-facing reports. And usually when we get the question about copying or ad analysis, it does come through the realtor section here. And so we have the, one second, people. I actually want to get into a different account real quick. So just one moment. Let me get into my account. And if you want to log into your Edge account, go ahead. You can click through the same buttons that I'm doing, get familiar with that process. So go ahead. If you have Edge, go ahead and log in, and we'll get started. So as I was saying, most of those questions about copying and ad analysis are for the open house flyers, the partner-facing reports, but we do get quite a bit for the client-facing as well. So let's go ahead and we'll start the process off with the View All button. You'll be able to see your last existing reports, and you have the scroll bar, but we also have a View All. So if you click on that View All button, you'll be able to see all the reports you've created. So you have all of them in this area and listed, as well as a filter. So if you want to do any kind of sorting, you could sort through the filter and find your report that way. So with it, if you'll see on the left-hand side, you have the gray arrows here for the drop-down. So if I went ahead and clicked on that drop-down arrow, you'll see all the reports that I've created for that particular realtor. And then you look at it, you'll see that I have 4 reports sitting here. And how did I get them in all under Jan Wilson's name? So the way you could do it, there's a couple of ways of doing it. First of all, we'll show you how to add an analysis. When you add an analysis, what this is going to do is copy the contact information of that realtor over, their logo, their image, and will not have anything for the product, so you'll start fresh. So I would go ahead and highlight on this, on your file here. And then you'll look on the right-hand side. It has the basic contact information of your realtor. And you'll have a button for ad analysis. You might have a delete button. If you're on an enterprise account, you might be missing this button. And they're just removed that so they have a report history. So if you don't have one, that's okay. But to start this off, ad analysis. So if I go ahead and click on ad analysis, it says, are you sure you want to add another analysis for Jan Wilson? And I say yes. So when I do that, you'll see how all her basic contact information came over, but there's the property information as well as the products and the analysis are all empty for you to be able to key in the information. And then if you go to the contact screen, you'll see how all their contact information as well as the image and logo carry over. So this is a really quick way to add another product without having to do the work of uploading your images or the contact information. But the one thing always remember to do when you work on copying or adding analysis, always identify it in that friendly name field. And the friendly name field, what that's going to do is be able to identify that specific report. So great for open house flyers is just go ahead and put in the street address. This way it'll identify that open house rather quickly. So to have the system update my friendly name field, always advance the screen to a different screen within your Edge products. You can go to any one of those screens or just move the arrow left or right, and that will also save your change. So now let's go back to the home screen. Let's go to View All, and let's check out those files now for Jan Wilson. You'll see that now here's my file that I just created. I added the analysis. In the friendly name field, I put the street name, address for identifier, and then you'll see the date and time it was last accessed. So that is one way to be able to add analysis. Say I want to be able to copy analysis. I like those products that I've created for them, and I want to copy it and be able to use it for the actual borrower. So say I gave a marketing open house flyer to the realtor. I want to use that same information because the loan amount's the same. Those are the good products for that area. So let's go ahead and create this specific for that. So I have the current partner, press OK. You'll see here their information all carried over, all their property address in there carried over, asking price, and then you have the 3 products. So with that, that's how you'll be able to copy, and then you can go in here and then just update that information, the correct property address if it's somewhere different. You'll be able to do that, upload the image as well. So those are 2 ways to be able to copy a report as well as add an analysis. And you'll see this is the last report I just copied, but you notice I didn't put a friendly name field. So it's really important to put that friendly name field just, again, for identification purposes when you come through here. Also, with the filtering system, the filter system not only goes off the name of the partner, it also searches against that friendly name field. So if I close this up and I just put in Main Street, you'll see all the reports that I created that had the word Main in that friendly name field. So that's how you'll be able to work that filter. It goes off names as well as the friendly name field. So with that, that shows you how you'll be able to quickly add a partner file as well as a ad analysis, which again is contact information, no products, or a straight copy, which will copy all that data and bring it over. And one other item is you can, if you get a new realtor, you want to be able to do start off the process, you could go ahead and use an existing open house flyer that you've used, press copy analysis, but instead use new partner. And what new partner will do is go ahead and strip the information of the realtor, but keep all those products. So if I press OK, you'll see the contact information is now gone. So let me just go ahead and put in some information here. And then you, again, put in a street address here for street. And then you'll see as you go through, you would then update all the information about the property and then your products, and then you'll have your contact information you need to update. So that is a copy into a new client as well as add a product and copy into the same product. And all those functions work the same way as a new client. So if you're doing a TCA, like in this particular case, you see that I've kept a report. I've created a Keep MI in Your Pocket. This is a comparison of mortgage insurance. And we'll be touching base with it in a little bit when I show you a couple other items. But say I had a marketing report that I used, and now I had a client that wants to see that same report but wants their numbers. So that is also a great way to use that copy feature. Anytime you have a report that you want to be able to, products that you have on one report, be able to show another client. So again, you would just go to View All. I'm typing in the word Keep, and then you'll see that you'll have all my files here, and then you could do a copy that way. So again, copy, and you go current client, but since that is my marketing, I actually would want to go to new client and start that process off that way and create a new report. So let's go ahead and create a new report here and go press OK. And see how all my products carried over, but my contact information didn't because it's a new client. So in this case, we could go ahead and then I could put in John Buyer, fill in the basic information, and then if I go to my presentation screen, you'll see that now that report that I created initially for my marketing piece, I've now copied it. You'll see at the top it now has a borrower's name. So it's that quick to be able to take one report, copy it to the next, and move on and make it customized for that particular borrower. So we have that, and the next piece I want to be able to show you is Edge Live. So this, to me, is one of my favorite pieces within Edge. So let's go ahead and let me show you how that Edge Live works. So you can use this with the open house flyers when you're first talking to the realtor. Great way to introduce yourself and really show them how Edge works and that interactive capability. So what I want to do is let's go ahead and bring up my Keep MI in Your Pocket. I brought up my report, and I'm hovering my mouse over presentation. And if I select preview, it takes me to my last screen here. So with that, let's go ahead and I'm going to click on Generate Link. And when you send a report to a client, you would highlight the link, copy it, and place it in an email. So with that, let me go ahead and I'm going to open a new tab here. And I'm going to go ahead and place that link. So if they had clicked on the link, they will receive the report just as we see here. They get a disclaimer text. This has been a new item that we have added, so they would have to press I understand to continue. So let me go ahead and set this up for you so you'll be able to see how Edge Live works. Just one moment here. Sorry, I had a little difficulty there. So let's go ahead and pull this down so you'll be able to see it a little bit more. Okay. So let's go ahead and paste that link one more time. So this is the link to my report. And you can see how it is opened up. And if you can't see everything, I'm working on a rather large screen. So if I'm too big on the screen, just let me know and I'll shrink it down a little bit. And now let's discuss Edge Live. So you can see between the two reports on the right left-hand side, this is the report that I'm working in Edge. And this on the right-hand side is the report that the consumer has opened up on their computer at home. So how can you tell the difference? So quick way of telling the difference, and I'm in the wrong file here. Let's go into Keep MI in My Pocket. Okay. Preview. Okay, the way you can tell the difference between these two reports is at the very base. You see there's a Clear All button on the left-hand side, and there's not one on the right-hand side. What this Clear All button does is to be able to remove any highlighting. So with Edge Live, it is an interactive tool that you'd be able to use to really be able to show the consumer and help them understand their loan choices. So one is we'll be able to do highlighting, and to do that, you'll be able to see on your report, which is on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see when I place my mouse over the fields, a blue box now surrounds that cell. So if I wanted to highlight, say, the interest rate, I'm left-clicking. Now that field has been highlighted. So I'm highlighting the differences in the rates. You'll notice over on the right-hand side, this is the consumer side. You'll notice everything that I highlight is also being highlighted on their report. So this is a great way to be able to talk to the consumer, you know, hello, Mr. Borrower, you know, the three options I'm showing you today is a conventional loan with mortgage insurance, monthly mortgage insurance. I also want to show you an option of lender-paid mortgage insurance. And then I'm also going to provide you an option on single premium mortgage insurance. And with this, you'll notice that I'm highlighting all the areas as I'm going through it. I'm highlighting, it's also highlighting on your client's report. So you can really guide them through what you're trying to explain to them and understanding the different mortgage options. So with the Edge Live, now that Clear All button at the very base, if you press that, it will clear out all the highlights on your report. So you see how it's cleared out all my highlights, and it cleared out all the highlights on the client's report as well. So now, besides just highlighting the fields, you can, and then talking about all the different options on the face of the report, you can also click on those More Info buttons. And when you do that, you'll see that it also will open up on the client side. So you'll be able then to discuss the purchase price, what their P&I payment is, their monthly cost. You can highlight those as well. You know, the monthly mortgage insurance is $191.98. So they'll be able to see that. You can hold your conversation and guide them through the process. Same with closing costs. You'll notice here I don't have any fees listed. Where am I? Oh, there it is. It's on there. Because I wanted to be able to show the difference between just the rate on these products and mortgage insurance. So on the single premium, I have an upfront MI, and I'm able to identify that why I'm talking to the consumer. So again, you could guide them through explaining each piece of the loan and all the differences. So you'll be able to do that. And then you can also talk about the reinvestment strategy screen. So if you do any kind of principal reduction, you'd be able to highlight that for them. And again, you'll see how it's highlighted on the consumer's report. So closing out of that, you know, besides Edge Live, you can see how you can guide them through talking about the different products. What about if they have a suggestion and maybe they want to be able to see a 15-year term? So let me just show you how this process works and how I'm going to leave up the client's report on the right-hand side so you can see how the changes you make in Edge will appear on the report and it will be live. So anytime you make an update, your report link will be updated as well. So it's a great piece. You won't have to email anything again because as long as you let them know changes have been made, they can just go directly to their link and take a look at the report. So let's go ahead and discuss, I want to discuss the short-term and the long-term area. So in that, I want to be able to change the short-term number of months as well as the long-term number of months. And to do that, I'm going back to Edge, and I'm going to the analysis screen. When I go into the analysis screen, you'll see the short-term number of months. I have it at 60. Let's see how the short-term looks at 120. So I'm going to place 120 months there, and then I have it at 15. Let's go ahead and place this at 20. To have these changes appear on the report, you need to make the save, and to do that, you remember you just have to move the screen back and forth. That initiates the change in the update, and so now that we have 120 and 20, take a look at the report, and it just made that change. So now we're reflecting, okay, Mr. Borrower, you're going to stay in your house 10 years. These are the savings of your loan short-term over that period of time. You then can also pop up that More Info button and tell them what that's about. So you'll be able to actually, let me go back to my report. Update it. I'm going to go ahead and press the refresh button, update my report. And that actually gave me, there we go. So with the report, you'll be able to go ahead. You notice I was trying to highlight on the client's copy, and I can't do that. The client can't either. So only your copy with the Clear All button, which is Preview or Edge Live buttons within Edge, will allow you to do it. So in the short-term area, you can guide them through what that those numbers are. So what we do is we total the interest and mortgage paid over that 120-month period, and we add the closing points. And remember, I didn't have any fees. This is just my one-time upfront single premium. So that's a figure there. I wanted to be able to show it so it takes it into account. So you can see what the total unrecoverable costs are. That's your total cost, and then we do comparison. So you get a lot of clients that, they don't want to pay mortgage insurance, and so they'll get that lender-paid MI. So you can see here that it's definitely, even the monthly MI, because it does drop from the loan, is a better option than that lender-paid mortgage insurance. And then if they have that extra cash to close because you have that subsidy, really the best bet for them is the conventional single premium loan, because you can see how much savings they have right there. So, as I explained that to you, you were able to see how you're able to explain that to the consumer. So that's what Edge Live will do. You can also change any of the figures. If I went into Edge and went into my product, oops, not that one. Let's go into conventional MI. Again, I'm just hovering my mouse over the product and selecting my product like so. So say if I put 5.5, just to be able to show you this process, I went ahead and updated and advanced my screen. Now look at that highlight over on the right-hand side, and it will go ahead and highlight as well and update to the 5.5%. All the graphs and all the other figures highlight are updated at the same time. So you can see how you could go ahead and make any kind of changes while you're having that conversation with the consumer on the phone, and they're viewing that report. So it's a great tool to be able to use, really educate the consumer with their different loan options, and do it all at one time. So really help you out, benefit you for speeding up the commitment as well as educating that consumer. And one last thing, besides the more info that could pop out, you got the highlighting. The only other option I want to be able to show you is you can also bounce the graph. So with that, let's go back into my preview, which is the same as the Edge Live button. So if I wanted to talk about the single premium and how much they're saving, you see how I clicked on the graph and it will go ahead and bounce. And I also want to let you know, this also works with the mobile device. So you can, if the client is on the mobile device, you can still do all this highlighting, clicking on the more info button, and drive the report while you're talking to them. If you're doing face-to-face, if you have a mobile device, hand your client the mobile device, let them have the report in front of them. Again, you could drive the report. You can also talk them through them and how they can, just move the screens and such. Again, breaks out that conversation a little bit more and be able to talk to that consumer. So you could use it face-to-face, just get an iPad, Android device, tablet, provide it to your consumer, and then you have the report up and you can discuss it back and forth. So great tool to be able to have, both of those. And do talk, let me know, use Edge Live. A great way of doing so is if you have someone in your office or a spouse or a friend, send them the link to the report. And if you have two screens, do what I did. Put one screen having the preview up, the other screen having the link up. And just get familiar with moving around with that report and highlighting and just having a little discussion. We also have in the help button here at the top, it takes you to our knowledge base. Let's go ahead and open up my screen wider. It brings you to the knowledge base. And with that, if you just type in live, you'll be able to have a video tutorial on how to use Edge Live. So we dig into this a little bit deeper with the video tutorial. I showed you briefly how to be able to use that piece, and it is great. So definitely start working with it. You can't do something like that with an Excel. You can't do it with the email, but with your Edge link, you can really hold that conversation with the consumer. So next what I want to do is show you the reinvestment strategy. So I have a file here on John Bauer, and let's just pull up the report itself so we could take a look and see what I have created. And I have my lender paid MI. So let me go back in. Oh, I copied that over. Excuse me, let's go ahead and let's find this cost of weight. Nope, I want to find a refinance. So let's go ahead and pull up a refinance here. So I'm using my filter. I have quite a few different refinances. I'm trying to find something a little bit more current. Do a lot of testing in this account, you can see. So let's go ahead and just pull this one out here. So with that, I went ahead and pulled up my information on Johnny Refi. Again, you don't have to key anything in here. It automatically assumes to refinance. Make sure if you're doing a purchase, click on that button for purchase a new home to not have any, I don't have anything in here. So let's go ahead and find another file. Actually, I'm going to use a Keep MI in your pocket. This will be a good one. So what we're going to do is go to the analysis screen, and I just clicked on analysis, and what we're going to work with is adjust reinvestment strategy. So let's go ahead and click on the adjust reinvestment strategy button, and in this area you'll be able to go ahead and make any kind of adjustment. So we do have a reinvestment reduction payment field that you'll be able to, say if I put $100 in, it will show you by applying the additional $100 toward principal each month that your freedom point has now, it's less than 26 years. So it would be able to show the consumer how they would be able to pay off that loan quicker and faster. So that's one option. And another option, so if we say with this conventional with MI, let's go ahead and reinvest that money after the MIs drop from the loan. So what I want to do is, on the reduction payment line, is double click. And we're going to go ahead and do a customization. So in this screen, there's a couple things you can do. If you look at the very base of the screen, it will tell you the month that MI is no longer required. So at the 112th month, there's 0 MI. And previously, I paid $191.98 a month. So since I've been making that payment, I want to continue making it, and I'm going to apply this amount toward principal. So what I'm going to do is go up and click on my month column, and I'm going to put in 112 months. Then I'm going to put in the dollar amount for the MI. So at this point, what we just told the system is at the 112th month, start applying $191.98 toward mortgage insurance. So I'm going to press OK. And then now you'll see by applying that mortgage insurance at that period of time, continuing making that same payment they've always made, they'll have a freedom point again. It's less than 26 years. So that's something to be able to suggest to your consumer, that they can reinvest mortgage insurance afterwards. So it gives you an idea there. Let me go ahead and show you under the conventional lender paid MI another option you could do. So you can always put in $100 a month, which is the same as using the outer screen, but you can also use the system to apply lump sum payments, one-time lump sum payments. So if you have a client that is in the process of selling a house, but they have enough to go ahead and purchase a new one now while they're waiting for their current home to be sold. So they know it down the road, within 12 months, they're going to apply, say, $100,000 to their loan amount. So you can show them how that process works but using the buttons in the lower left-hand corner. So if I press Add, it provides me a month field as well as amount. So I'm going to change the second month, and I'm going to say at month 12, I'm adding $100,000. It's going directly to principal, and now what I need to do is add another line. I want it on month 13, and I want to put it back at $100 a month. Anytime you provide a one-time lump sum payment, you always have to remember the month following, either you place a 0 here, or in this case, since I already had $100 that I'm applying them each month, I want to go ahead and continue applying that $100. So if you don't do that, what will happen if I left this line empty and left it this way, it's going to apply $100,000 every month until the loan's paid off. So within a couple months, it will be paid off. So just to be able to show you that, so once this is done, I'm going to go ahead and add it. Whoops, delete that line, press OK. And by applying that, my loan amount's low anyhow, but applying that $100,000, you can see how the freedom point is quite low. So I'm going to remove my Freedom Point or my lump sum payment and press OK. I'm just going to go ahead and keep that $100 in there and show that the Freedom Point is 25.42 years. Another way of using the reduction payment is if they want to be able to pay off that loan in 15 years. So you'd be able to guide them through that by, we'll go ahead and try $600. That's pretty close. So, you just keep moving around with it. So probably about 640 is probably get close to it. So you can see how I'm just playing around with the dollar amount. 630 is the winning number. That placed me right at the 15-year Freedom Point. So you would also be able to show how they have a 30-year term, how they would be able to make that extra payment and have it paid off in 15 years. So you'd be able to have those options here. So we have a custom option. We have just applying a straight $100 and focusing the loan to be paid off in 15 years by applying $630. So these are scenarios you would be able to use with that reduction payment. All three of those types also can be used down in your savings balance area. If you double-click on that, you can do the same process that I have shown in the reduction payment. You also have that in your investment balance as well. So let's take a look at a report with having a custom area. You'll notice that this button is now blued out, and you have to double-click to make any kind of adjustments. And then you will see how the $100 and then the $630 is applied to the loan. So I'm pressing OK, and now hovering my mouse over presentation, selecting preview. Let's take a look at our report. Okay, so with our report here, the items that we changed, now we have a reduction payment line field here. You'll notice that it says custom, and I'll show you where you get that information. We also have the additional 100 and 630. So you'll be able to see that on the face of the report as well as the Freedom Point. So it'll also show you that new Freedom Point of that by applying that reduction payment. Now if we go into the More Info button, and then we're going to go ahead and click on the reinvestment strategy. This is where you definitely want to do some highlighting. So just hover your mouse over that field and left click. And now if you look at your custom button, click on it, you'll be able to identify and talk to them, tell them at the 112th month you no longer have mortgage insurance, and I'm going to apply it directly to the principal. And this is how I've done that. So we're applying $191.98 directly to your principal, and that's going to provide you a Freedom Point. Your loan is going to pay it off in 15 years. So again, this is something you can show with Edge Live. You can do these highlights with the discussion. You can also place those dollar figures in the reduction payment screen while you're talking on the phone. It will update the report as well. So that's the reduction payment that we've gone through. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. And let me go ahead. I'm going to clear out a couple of these reports, just close them out real quick. There we go. Okay. So now what I want to do is show you the product template. So what I'm going to do is show you how to create a product template from a report you have made. It's a quick process, and I'll show you how you can modify it, but we have added a few new fields for reserves. So I'd be able to show you how you'd be able to place that, save the template, and then go modify it. So coming down, I'm going to use my cost of waiting report. I've already made my, created this report. Now I want to go and use and save this for a template. So I have this Buy Now product here. I'm using a 10% down. I have some fees that I'll also be able to capture with this default, and my monthly cost here. So let's go ahead and put in some factors here. I'm going to go ahead and change this to 0.35 and 1.25. You also be able to use a dollar figure if you have an estimate for your hazard and your taxes. Prefer to put $100 for hazard. You could do that as well. Just go ahead and use that toggle and place $100 in this area. Both options. So I'll leave taxes as a percentage and hazard as a dollar amount. I have some mortgage insurance already in here. You'll notice down below I have these are our new fields, our monthly reserves. I went ahead and I indicated 2 months hazard reserves that I'm going to collect and 4 months of taxes. If it's a purchase, you want to collect the 12-month premium, go ahead and mark the box over toward the right. So with these reserves, just to be able to show you how this works, let me move back to our fee screen. You'll see that we have a total now for our prepaid escrows. And if we go into our closing cost detail button, let me scroll down toward the base, you'll see that we now have 3 lines. We have our reserves that we calculated for you. It was $100 times 2 months. Your tax reserves as well as the hazard insurance premium. These boxes have been grayed out, and the reason for it is you need to make the change in the monthly cost screen. But say if I don't want to collect the hazard insurance premium, if I press the trash can to remove it from my closing cost details, it will also remove that checkbox in the monthly cost. So let's see how that works. So once I'm done here, I'm applying the fees to the loan amount. Let's advance the screen, and now you'll see that the 12-month premium box is not marked. So if I went ahead and remarked it, go back to the closing cost details, you'll see that it's there. It went ahead and put that information back in. Other thing is, if you already have product and fee templates and you have your hazard reserves and taxes reserves defaulted in those templates, go ahead and remove them. They're no longer needed. Our system is trying to do a match against what you have in your template with what we're producing. It works, but if you've had a custom description, it won't know that. It won't be able to do a match. So that's with the monthly costs. And let me check my questions real quick. Real quick, I know I'm changing topics real quick, but I just want to get this answered real quick. Yes, Patsy, what you can do is before you send that link, and that share button in the lower right-hand corner also provides you a link. But before you send it out, you can highlight different areas on the report. So if you want to show the difference in the interest rate and the difference in the closing cost, highlight any of the areas on the report, and when they receive that link, it will be highlighted. Until you get on and clear those highlights, it will stay that way until you modify the report. You also can say if you made a modification to the closing costs. What you can always do is open up that More Info, click on the fee details, and have it opened up. So say if, so then what would happen is when the borrower clicks on the link, the report will show up in this exact same way. So let me, I think I already copied it. So let me go ahead, copy it. So let me just make the change. So if I click on More Info, and I want my closing cost details, and then you have it here. So if I'm my new tab, here's my link. I press Return, and you'll see it will go ahead and copy exactly what I did. So when they went ahead and opened up that report, you'll see the closing cost details is the opening page. They then can close out, press I understand, and then also your highlights did carry over as well. So yes, Patsy, with your question, you can do that. And then again, you can pop out those More Info buttons, and that's what will show when they initially open up the report. So sorry about the little tangent, everybody. Let's go ahead and now back to our products. So we've modified our reserves and showing you a dollar amount versus a percentage. Now what you could do is save it as a template. So it takes in the title of the first screen. So you can put in whatever kind of title you want. I'm putting in today's date so you'll be able to, we can easily identify it. And I'm going to press OK. So now I have a template built for that cost analysis. And this is great if you already have an FHA or any type of products. If you're on an enterprise account, they might have fee and product templates created for you. If you're doing a different product that might not be in there, take the same process. Do your report, create the product that you want to have it, and then at the base of each of the products, you'll see the button Save as Template. So not to do the double work, you would just go ahead and save it as a template. And then now let's go ahead and take a look. So if I click on the green Add Another Product button, go to my drop-down, you'll see there is my buy now strategy, and I sort of butchered that date on it. Sorry, guys. So anyhow, and that information would carry over because you can see how the percentage defaulted for us. Interest rate, I'll show you in a second how you'll be able to remove that. Also the term. If we move on to the next screen, you'll see all our fees carried over, as well as the 100%. Oh, my 125 didn't carry over. But all this information also will carry over for you. It makes it goes rather quickly for you. So if we click on settings, let's go in that fee template. I'm running into a cache issue, it looks like. So let's take a look. Let me just go ahead and log out of Edge and log back in real quick. So I'm clicking on that cost to wait report, and my information didn't carry over. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out our settings. And here's my product template right here. So this is the one I created. Actually, this one right here where it butchers the date. So what you want to do is go through this area and identify what you want to keep as default. So interest rate to me, I always remove because that is a variable on your file. Again, if you leave it in there, not a big deal because you can always overwrite it when you're in your report. Term's always a good thing to keep defaulted. Per diem interest, if you select estimated 15 days per diem interest, go ahead and put it there. Some people have 30. Put that information in. Moving down, let's go to our monthly cost screen. You'll see the $100 did carry there. And then I have a property tax of 125%. You'll see how that's carried over. The dollar amount will be updated with the correct loan amount when it carries over. But if you don't want to see it, just click like that and put in that 125 or whatever your percentage may be. See how all the MI carried over. So you have all that information. And what's nice too is that your monthly, your closing cost details also carry over. So if you want to tie that product template as well as your closing costs, it's a great way to do this. It's going to speed you up for really quick. You have your fee template listed here. You can modify and update it in any way if you're changing it from one product to another. Quick way of doing that. Just anytime you make a change in here, always apply it to the template. So to also look at an FHA template, you'll see here that we have the 3.5% down. I'm going to go ahead and put in 15 days interest. I mark the box yes as FHA, keeping my interest rate empty. I'm moving to my monthly cost. I'm in California, and I'm just estimating 0.35 and 1.25. If you originate in multiple states, you could go ahead and create more templates based on those states, so everything's defaulted for you. Or again, put the most common in the monthly cost area, and you can always do the override if you want. But you could do either way. You can always build out your templates to cover all the different states that you originate in, or just keep it simple and just do an override on those figures. But the MI carried over for the FHA. I have the 1.35. Calculate MI on balances provides the average balance, the changing MI from year to year. And then the MI cutoff months is 360. That's going to carry MI for the life of the loan. So I'm pressing OK. Let me scroll down the screen a little bit. You'll see your upfront MI amount. I went ahead and clicked on the percent sign, which opened up my percentage field and put the 1.75, and I'm adding it to loan amount. So now I also want to collect 2 months reserve, 4 months taxes, and I want to collect 12 months premium. So if you really take a look at this template now and just to be able to understand how quick it's going to make it, you've answered every question. So the only thing we're going to have to do is put the loan amount in, your interest rate. You got your fees already taken care of here. Wait, we don't. That was in the other template. You can either leave your fees empty, or you could go ahead and tie it with the fee template if you want, or create your fee template right here. So to do that, I'm just clicking on Add Fee. I did it a couple times. The drop-down arrow, you could just go ahead and choose the letter of the description of your fee. So I'm picking loan origination. And I have it at $9.95 as an APR fee. You could do appraisal fee, which is a non-APR fee. So let me put that one in there. Whoops. There's my appraisal fee. So for $75, I'm not marking the APR box. And let's go ahead and show a contribution as well. So I can show you how this process works. So you have a contribution. I have an APR fee, a non-APR fee. You have a contribution. So you'd be able to go ahead and put in your amount here of your contribution. So if I put in $1,000, and I'm missing a screen. Oh, yeah, because in the loan amount, if you have it, put in the field for contribution, leave the dollar amount empty, and then as you prepare the report, you'll be able to just slip in how much it is for that contribution. If you're doing a lender title charge, you could go ahead and identify it as lender's title insurance, but because it's a variable, you could go ahead and leave that empty and fill it in on the other when you do the data input. With this also, I've been working on another company with doc stamps and as well as their title insurance, and I have been working out being able to figure out the percentage for this field. So if you're interested with this, let me know. Go ahead and raise your hand if you want. I'm going to go ahead and create a video tutorial on how to be able to do these type of calculations to build out your fee template so you won't have to touch it. So raise your hand so that way I'd be able to send you that video afterwards to show you that breakdown. Currently, I've been working with the state of Virginia. So I have the state TAMPs for Virginia as well as that lender's title insurance. So okay, I got a couple people wanting that, so I'll go ahead and create a video tutorial to be able to show that. Again, the more you fill out in the fee screens, the less you're going to have to do when you're creating your report. So there you go. You have an APR fee, a non-APR fee. You have a contribution, which you would just place in there and then place the dollar amount when you're doing the loan. Lender's title insurance, again, non-APR, so I'm leaving those boxes empty. You have add to loan. If you're doing refinances, you create the fee template. If you're adding all the fees to loan amount, you could do that and have it pre-populate. Prepaid escrow is when you get in there and you see the reserves, you're going to see that they're marked prepaid escrow, meaning they're going to be excluded from the short-term area because they're not a cost of the loan. So that's how you build a template. Best bet to create a template is create a fee sheet. Get a fee sheet from your LOS system. And with that, it usually has the fee descriptions as well as the dollar amounts and if the fee is an APR or not. And that's a great place to start on building these templates. I do have a question from Paul. Contribution is the same as a lender or a seller credit. Yes, it is. And with the contribution, just to be able to explain it a little bit more, we do have logic built around this label, contribution. So with that, you can identify what the dollar amount is and then if the lender or seller is paying it. So if this description is okay, then use that as your contribution description. We have the logic. You would just enter the amount as a positive figure, and it would offset the fees. If you don't want it reflecting that way and you want your own label, you can always add custom fee and say I want to do a lender contribution just to be able to put my type of label I want the borrower to see. So I'm putting in the contribution. I'm pressing OK. And with that, though, when you key it in, because there's no logic, you have to enter this as a negative. The reason for it is because there is no logic, it needs to credit against the fees, and the only way it can do that is if it's a negative. And then you also have to leave it identified as the borrower. So you can have your fee title the way you want to have the description, but it's a little backwards on how you have to show that dollar amount and that it's being paid by the borrower. So it's good to use that contribution field if you that description will work for you. Removing any fees, just press that trash can. So, oh, great. I'm glad that worked for you, Paul. So we'll be able to show it when I apply the template. So once you build your template here, just press Apply to Template, and now those fees are associated with that product template. Okay, so let's take this template now. We have everything built into it. So now if I go into New Client, and let me just start it off. To save a file, you have to have a name in here. So I'm just putting Lori, and I'm moving directly through to my products. So you can see once you start getting familiar with Edge, you could just jump around from screen to screen. So let's go ahead and put in a loan amount first. And let's go ahead and select our FHA down product. So you see that the data carried over, my 3.5 carried through, and my down payment calculated for me. I marked it yes as FHA, and I have the term in here. So all I have to do now is just key my interest rate, and that's it. Moving to the right, we're coming to our monthly cost. You'll see how the upfront MI has been defaulted. If I go into my closing cost details, you'll see the fees carried down, as well as my hazard reserves have already calculated for me because I've defaulted those in the monthly cost. So to show you how that contribution works real quick, you'll notice at the base, this blue line, it has the total borrower paid fees, and we have 0 to the lender and 0 to the seller. So if I have that contribution line and the lender is contributing $1,000 toward fees, as soon as I key in that $1,000, you'll see how the borrower's fees dropped by $1,000. Now the lender's picking up the $1,000. I then can choose if the seller's picking up that charge. So you'll be able to have that option with that. And just to be able to show you really quick, let's get that other fee. I think I had a lender contribution. This was that custom fee that I provided. So if you do use it, again, you would have to show it as a negative and leave it to the borrower paid. And that's the only way it would offset the amount. So if you want to use a custom description, just remember it as a negative. Okay, so with that, let me apply it. Just go ahead and press cancel here. I want to keep the fees the way it was. And then my monthly cost. So you see how all the information carried over, defaulted. I mean, all I had to do is key in my interest rate. So that's the reason we want to build out those fee templates, get you in and out of Edge quickly, and also to be able to have more accuracy on your reports. One last thing on those templates I want to be able to show you. We do not have a copy feature from the partners to the client report, but there is a way, if you do have a partner report, you want to show those products on the TCA, use that template process. So I don't think I have any products on this one. So if I went into my Jan Wilson file and I went into my products, all I have to do is then go to the very end of the screen, save it as a template. You can even identify it as open house flyer P1 for product 1. And then when you get into your new client, you pull down that template and you have everything exact. So again, that's going to speed up a lot of time when you're going from report to report. Just go ahead and create a quick template for it and be able to use it there. Okay, I have a couple questions here I'm reading. We do have an 80-10-10 video versus 90% MI. Yes, we do have that, Paul, in our knowledge base. Let me go ahead and show you how that works. There's a help button. Click on the help button. It takes you to our knowledge base. And let's put in 80-10-10. Or not 890-10-10. Okay, there we go. And this one happens to be with the HELOC scenario. So you'll be able to enter your 80-10-10 so you're not paying mortgage insurance. And then you can put your second product as one showing mortgage insurance, and you'll be able to show them the difference, not only in the monthly payment, but also that short-term and long-term. So you'll be able to show them out that. So again, that knowledge base is great to have that search engine to get any kind of ideas out there, to get the video tutorials. Remember, with the video tutorials, we do have a YouTube link. If you're unable to see those in the, your office, we do have a direct download as well. So I'm moving over. Let me see if I have any other questions. Okay, I don't have any other questions at this point. Is there anything else that you would want to see before I move into other items? So. Okay, I don't have any questions. So what I also want to do is go back to our support page, show you a couple items here, and then we'll be done with today's call. So moving through it, again, we showed that search engine here. If you go to the home button, it will show all our video tutorials, and we're updating and adding quite a few right now, so you'll even see more in this area. If you want to know how to use the knowledge base, go ahead and click on that. what you'd be able to do is you can sign in. If you've emailed us once at support, you'd be able to log in with that, your email address with Edge and your password, and you can come directly in there. We also have a calendar events. You could sign up, receive any kind of updates from here, any compliance updates. You could go ahead and receive those as well. So the knowledge-based tutorial will help you do that. How to read the TCA. I always encourage everyone to read this one because it does help to be able to explain the report better to the clients. Also, if you look at the very top, it says click here to access our coaching call archive. With that, we have on Tuesdays, we have a leading expert in the industry on the phone with Dave Savage, our CEO, and they have various topics and discussions during that time. So if you want to be able to sign up for it, there's the click here button. If you're unable to attend, we record and post all those calls here. Our Thursday training calls are also recorded, and we post them in the same location. And we have an introduction to Edge beginner's class every Friday at 9 o'clock. If you want more information on that, email us at support. We'll give you the link, but you could click here for last week's. I encourage you, if you're new to Edge, definitely get on that introduction course. We walk through the field, help you out through that process, and build templates as well. So definitely sign up for that one. And then lastly, I want to bring you to our webpage. It's mortgagecoach.com. And coming to here, what I want to be able to show you is there's a couple items. You can log into Edge through the solutions page here. If you want to RateWatch, if you haven't downloaded RateWatch, RateWatch is part of your membership. So I went to mortgagecoach.com. The easiest way is to go this way. Solutions, then RateWatch. You have a login. You can watch RateWatch online, or you can also download it. So if you haven't already downloaded RateWatch, go ahead and use download. Your IT might need to assist you if you are unable to download programs. You would just contact them. But in the meantime, we have that RateWatch online. And so you'll be able to log into your account and be able to check the mortgage-backed securities this way. So you'll be able to access RateWatch through the online version. You'll be able to see the candlestick charts for the 1 month. We also have a 10-day, 3-month average. Doing really quickly, moving to Day Watch, showing how the rates are moving today. We have a commentary in our Rate Watch where we have, as today, Neil provides economic data, open and close information, and a little verbiage here. Dan Rawich provides us a video, a daily video talking about the economy and how the rates are moving. So we have both those options there for you. And then what I want to show you is in our settings, if you click in the upper right-hand corner, that little grommet, it will pop out a window, and this is where you'll be able to set, have your settings for the email alerts, the email commentaries, your text messages. You have the dates for the upmail to receive those alerts. If you want to be able to choose lenders, and what that is the lenders tab here. These are rate sheets, average movements for those lenders. You can choose conforming, FHA, or jumbo. On the right-hand side, fixed or ARM. But if you want to customize your report, you would just do select lenders, identify the lender, select it, and it will go into your list of lenders on the right-hand side. We also have a filter, so you could go ahead and filter down the different companies and be able to then select it, as well as deselecting a lender as well. So you have that option. Once you make any modifications in your settings account, always remember to submit, and that will go ahead and update the system. Okay. With that, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and close down today's call. If you have any questions or any kind of support, you want more information about any of those features we talked about, copy and adding analysis, Edge Live, the reinvestment, or product templates, go ahead and contact us at support@mortgagecoach.com, and we'll assist you. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy your day. Bye.